I couldn't picture my life without martial arts, and a life without martial arts isn't me. So this is what I have to do. I have to do this every day, 5 days, 6 days a week, in order to feel like Kyle Sleeman. So this is what I'm going to continue doing till the day I die. This is what I'm meant for.
Thank you very much for having me, Kyle. Appreciate your time. Off the bat, when did you start Jiu Jitsu and where did you start?
Well, I've been doing martial arts my entire life. When I was born, my father was a martial artist, so I was just born into the lifestyle. I guess I started grappling around 1999 when I found judo. I did that for a number of years and found Brazilian Jiu Jitsu around 2005, 2006. And I started training with Professor Bruckmann, and I've been with him for 16 and a half years now. And so I teach now at Kalsamrit Martial Arts in Bowmanville, Ontario.
So one of the reasons we're here is to do a quick instructional, and you're trying to raise some money for Worlds. But I'm just wondering, have you been competing basically since you started Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah, so I started competing at like 7 years old, but in Jiu-Jitsu, I started competing right off the hop. Like, I think I might have had 3 months experience and I jumped right into it. Didn't do very well, it was very hard, but I was on the tough end of the learning curve, but that's what makes you or breaks you, right? You gotta face adversity, and in the early years I faced a lot of adversity, and I feel like that's what has made me the person I am today.
Yeah, since you've been around the game for so long, and especially in this area, I mean, the history's not too huge. What are the biggest differences you've seen in the area from when you started to now?
Well, definitely, there wasn't a lot of jiu-jitsu around back then. Professor Bruckmann was one of the first students in Canada, one of the first 10 students in Canada, so I was kind of like his student, so I was the second wave that was here. Back then, like, there wasn't a lot of gis, like, it was a lot of just like, all my professors were fighting in Japan, so it was a lot of MMA. And over the years, it's evolved more into a family-oriented art. But back when I started, it was fighting. You got into it to learn how to fight, and I fell in love with the sport of jiu-jitsu as I went along.
Amazing. And then over the years, it's starting to become a little more popular. Thanks to guys like BJJ Fanatics, for example, who you just did an instructional with. I think that's a lot of people's dreams, to kind of get out with those guys and shoot some stuff. What was your experience like? Or something you can tell us about that?
Well, going down to Boston for the BJJ Fanatics was one of the greatest experiences of my life. To be asked to go down there and for them to have me, and the people I met down there, is like, it gives me goosebumps right now just thinking about it. Like meeting Bernardo Faria and John Danaher and all those guys, and being able to show the world what I have to offer means a lot. I've studied a long time jiu-jitsu, and I have a lot of things in my head that I don't get to bring out a lot of the times. Even when I compete, my competition game is very basic. It's based off the fundamentals of jiu-jitsu and the shit that works, right? So going down to Boston, I got to show all the things that I've created over the years into instructionals that branch off each other, guard passing instructional, into the side control instructional, etc. So very happy to show my new wave of my version of jiu-jitsu.
Well, we're excited to see it, and you're going to show us a little something soon. But the last question I want to ask, something I kind of ask everybody. This sport, it's tough. You've been a gi guy for 16 years. Your hands must be destroyed. Why do you grapple? Why do you keep coming out here? And what keeps you going? What keeps pushing you?
Well, for one thing, like I say, I started martial arts at 5, but that's only because that's when I was able to go into classes. My father had me training before that. This is what I do. I don't do anything else in my life. I know martial arts better than the English language. I couldn't picture my life without martial arts, and a life without martial arts isn't me. So this is what I have to do. I have to do this every day, 5 days, 6 days a week, in order to feel like Kyle Sleeman. So this is what I'm going to continue doing till the day I die. This is what I'm meant for. And I'm meant to pass on the knowledge to other people who need it in their lives.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Kyle. And
thank you.
Started.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Okay guys, Kyle Sleeman here. We're gonna set up a technique today. So we're gonna start from a spider guard with a bit of a lasso. I'm going to go into a De La Riva sit-up guard, and then I'm gonna sweep, and whatever options flow from there, we're gonna take, okay? Whether it's a back take or a rolling back take or a submission, we're gonna go with the flow and play around. Stick around. Okay, so today we're starting an open guard, okay? I always want to be able to have my opponent's weight off of me. So I'm going to use a spider grip with a lasso here. My lasso, I have the palm of my foot on his shoulder so he can't put weight on me, okay? So I'm just going to use this position to get to my De La Riva guard, okay? So I'm going to lean to one side and open his arm up as I shoot my hips to the other side. That gives me the ability to pendulum this leg to my De La Riva. I'm going to take my foot off his bicep and kick his leg as I sit up. And now I'm going to pass this under to that grip. Okay? I'm going to grip this here, and we're just going to stop here. Okay? The setup is the most valuable part of any technique. You can't sweep anybody unless you can set it up correctly. So we're here, lasso, spider. Okay? I'm going to open them up, pendulum to De La Riva. I'm going to kick, and that brings me up. See that? I kick, and it brings me up. I'm going to pass right here. Now I'm going to grip the collar. I have control of his leg and his hip. I have his arm under his leg. He's compromised. Okay? Again, I have a bit of a lasso to keep his shoulder from pressuring down on me, and I have my spider. I'm going to angle, stop, okay? Now I'm going to put my foot on his thigh, and I'm going to sit up, and that hand's this hand. Now I grip the grip on his collar, and he's ready to go for a ride. Okay? So again, we got the lasso, a short lasso, and I got the spider grip here, okay? I'm gonna extend, bringing my hips over to his foot so I can get the De La Riva, because I can't just get it from here. So I want to bring my hips over, but I'm faking the spider guard to get my hips to that angle, okay? So I go here, then now I can get the De La Riva. Now I kick and sit up and pass. This leg is constantly on his thigh, keeping him from coming back into me, okay? So that's setting up the entry to our sweep. Okay, so we go spider with the lasso to the De La Riva to the sit-up sweep position. And then we're gonna finish the sweep. Okay guys, part 2, we're gonna finish the sweep here, okay? So, we got the lasso and we got the spider that we just went over. These both keep the weight off of my opponent, okay? So I'm gonna stretch my leg and bring my hips to this leg, which gives me the ability to pendulum to De La Riva. Put my foot on his thigh and I sit up. It brings me up. I pass this under. I grab the collar. Now I'm not just gonna dump him to the side. I'm gonna pull his posture directly down. I'm not trying to dump him. I'm trying to break his posture. I break. Now he just goes. I stop. I pinch this leg. I give a roll. And I take the back. Okay? So we just added in the Berimbolo roll off the sit-up sweep. De La Riva sit-up sweep. Spider, De La Riva, sit-up position, switch grips. Break his posture. As he falls, I'm pinching this thigh. So now, as I roll, I'm gonna roll over my right shoulder. Grab his leg, and roll over my right shoulder. Now, once I roll over my right shoulder, my left leg is hooked As I come, I kick my left leg, kick, and I pass it to this hook. Now I can scoop my hips out, and I have the back. Then I can go for the kill. As I fall, I'm pinching this leg. I roll, I kick my left leg, and pass it to this hook. Then I scoop my hips away, take the back, then I can begin whatever I want. Okay, let's take another couple looks at it. Now, breaking his posture, boom, up on my toes, pinch his leg. As I roll, I have my thigh in his belt line, real tight. Now I have this leg pushing, okay? So I have his leg trapped. As I kick this leg, he pivots around this leg. And I climb up the back, I grab, kick, pass, scoop. There's the back. Okay? Look at it a little quicker. Okay, a couple more times. See my legs? All right, one more. There we go. That's a spider guard setup, to the De La Hiva, to the sit-up guard, to the sweep, to the Berimbolo, to the back. Then you can finish with whatever you please. Woosa.
Thanks again for watching. That was Kyle Bull Sleeman from Kalsamrit Martial Arts. His instructional for BJJ Fanatics is going to be dropping later this month. Don't miss that. Thanks again. See you soon.